Good morning, my friends. Ke mathata fela. Today is day 54 of our 100 days. And in my not so reliable memory, I find it to be the coldest morning of all these mornings. I tried to step out of bed and just could not keep it there. I am using a device I don't usually use because it's a Winners Wednesday, and so we just have to win no matter what. My one concern is whether the picture is not skewed. So, and I don't know if I can see the comments. This is another day. So if it's skew, maybe we'll just remain skew. Good morning, Stoza. Okay, I can see the comments. Thank you. Can you? All right. Today we work with what is. Ne? First of all, I've had one of those nights. Ne? Yes, you are right. I have done the things to welcome spring, and we've been in lockdown for so long, and I haven't been to the hair salon for and also have a style. So I forgot that the first night, no matter how gentle they have been, because they were gentle sham, there was no pulling, but just sleeping with that head intact says there's just something about that first night that you could easily just take off the hairstyle. So I had that kind of a night. I kept on waking up, not finding the best position for the pillow. Yeah. So when I woke up in the morning, literally, when I woke up, I was like, yeah, you suffer for beauty. And then just after I said you suffer for beauty, then a question was, how about suffering for health? Guys, I don't know whether you do experience these things when messages just drop. Because last night, first of all, we had load shedding. I did not I did not even think about morning and conversations and self-love check-in. I was like, I've gone through enough self-love today. I just need to sleep and rest and get over day one of a new hairstyle. And then there was, how about suffering for health? Like, you are not. And then I remembered there's a book by Lisa, I don't know how to pronounce that thing, Bobo something, Liz Bobo. This woman writes these books that I was meant to read. Though she writes for me, I get her, I have no qualms about it. And as I visited the book, I have it on Kindle, which okay, I think the lighting, let's see. How is it with that? Okay, the reflection is just not gonna work. I have the book on Kindle. I'm going to share it on the page after the conversation. She wrote one of these books, and for the I've had this book for a number of years, and today, when I woke up and I remembered, no man, there's something I know about suffering. The book is written. The book's title is "Heal Your Wounds and Find Your True Self." And then she said, finally, a book that explains why you are scared of being yourself. Tinashe. And I had this book. I read it, but it did not resonate with me that other time as well as it resonated with me today. Hey, and since the Monday conversation and looking at the gift of asking as a tool of self-love, And you will remember I then took upon myself a challenge to ask for something every day. And I've been doing quite well. But I've been looking, if you've done soul dancing teaches one to always drill down. Don't end at the surface of the why not, why don't I, why is this. Go down. What influences that? What, until you get to the very bottom or the basic fear that underlines the action, or in this case, why is it. We would go back to childhood experiences, we would go back to beliefs that we formed about, we would go back to conclusions that we have made about the thing. So I've been doing this with the thing about asking, and all sorts of memories about what happened. I even remembered how I have a negative relationship to asking from the first time I was blackmailed in sub P. Like, I was blackmailed by an older child who was a cousin, because everybody in my Engcobo, especially Kumanzana, we are all related. This girl was a cousin, she was older than us, and she blackmailed us. And from a stupid gossip, because she was older, she already had tendencies to be lazy to come to school, and teachers would always talk about her when she said, "Oh, Inobuno Hili." I don't know what Ohili is in English, my friends, but the teachers would say, "Uno Hili, Inobudlala no Hili." That she's playing with these invisible short friends. That's how we pictured Ohili. It's an invisible, funny-looking short friend. So the teachers said, Unohili, she probably plays with them, and that's why she doesn't come to school. So apparently, me and my best friend were talking to another cousin that was also ahead of us, and sharing this thing about this one that has Ohili. And for one reason or the other, the older cousin, yes, Dokolosh, the older cousin went and told that one that were talking about you, and they were saying you have Dokolosh. Now she's not telling the whole story, that the teachers in class say this, and now this older one wants us to pay for her name. And so she, every day she would ask, what have you brought for lunch? What do you have for me? She would be asking, and would be giving her. So we were not eating at school, whatever. So we would make sure that we bring something for to pay her. But to cut a long story short, after all of that, the day we had nothing to give to her, she still clapped us. So I'm sure I was like, I will never get anybody in a situation where they feel compelled to give because of asking. So there are many stories around this asking. But the other thing that came up for me was how one of my biggest fears is to make someone uncomfortable. And the other word that comes is to make anybody feel awkward in my presence. Yay, I shy away from making people feel awkward. It's like, if it were up to me, if I can't make you happy, rather don't feel that I'm even there. Ne? I remember the same Monday I took upon the challenge. I went to see a physio for a back pain. Good morning, Leon. I went to see a physio for a back pain and the shoulders and all of those things. Then he said that he was going to put dry needles, and I've never experienced this before. So he said, I'll put two. It had a strange sensation, these needles on my shoulder. And then he said, okay, I will leave them for 4 minutes, and then so I'll go out and come back after 4 minutes to take them out, and he put other things. Good morning, my meza. So he did this, and then as he left, I was like, I wish I could see how these needles look like. I wish, and then I had, I wished I could ask him to take a picture so I could see my shoulder and how the needles have gone in. And I was like, yo, if I ask him to take a picture, then I must ask him to now go get my phone from there. And my phone is locked. I was like, awkward. So I failed at my first test of asking the physiotherapist, who was friendly and chatty, to take a picture. So I ended up saying, okay, I'll just Google. I'll still see how the dry needling works. But yeah, so I failed on Monday. And then, yeah, Tuesday came and I had a bigger ask to make on Tuesday. And I'm happy to say I passed on Tuesday. So we are on Wednesday today. And as I said, the question in my head as I woke up was, what if the same way we suffer for beauty, we could look into suffering for health? And I know most of my friends are meat eaters, and there's no, for somebody who has been socialized that a proper plate has to have a piece of meat, and then we get specific. It must be lamb, it must be that, it must be that, it must be that. We get specific, and then that plate has a way of just capturing your entire day or making your entire day, and you know that today was a good day on the basis of the plate and the meat in the plate. So I was so happy when my children here at home decided that they are joining me. We are on a 3 months. They say for 3 months for them, they are not going to eat meat. And so yesterday was day one. And I was asking my daughter, how is day one? She says, no withdrawal symptoms yet. And when it comes to meat and we have a love-hate relationship. I hate how much I love it. And so I've always, since 2010, when the NPPA took that journey of Bible studying and eating, focusing on the Daniel fast for 90 days. I've always taken breaks from it, and my motivation is always that this thing, I love it too much. It can't be good for me. It's even at a point where it could be controlling. Like, the description I gave of how a day would be made by that plate in the evening, that was me. And so I've had to learn to find joys in other things and not just meat. But where I was coming to, and which I think is more a conversation now for tomorrow, and I'm so grateful, is how this lady, Liz Bobo, talks about how we have wounds that we need to heal, and that our true selves lies at the bottom or beyond. It's an interesting book. And when it comes to this book, I felt myself, envying. I feel like Oprah lives my life, though, especially when it comes to the book club. This book is a book to be discussed in a book club, composed of people that are open to being vulnerable, and we look at the different corners. And it's so interesting. She even has pictures. She says somebody who suffers from this wound would most likely occupy a body that is shaped like this. It is so fascinating when you look at my body and get to learn what is my inherent emotional wound, the one that I came here with, the wound that I came to heal. And most often, it is the things that we are most afraid of. and the very reason why we are here, and that when we don't heal them, we run the risk of having to come back for more or get more and more experiences that exposes us to the same wound. So yes, self-love, day 54 of our 100 days, we look at how do I love myself? How about opening myself up to suffering for health? If it is going to benefit me health-wise, can I open up to a possible suffering? What is it for you? For me, I know it is meat, it is gluten. And I love just to say gluten because then it covers biscuits, breads, a number of things that are core and staple. For me, it's those two things. Of course, sugar. Yes, sugar is almost everybody's friend name. So for me, it's gluten, sugar, and meat. And then I can find something to eat in between and excluding all of those things. So what's your suffering, my friend? What's your suffering? What's your peak for yourself? We're still at the beginning of September. You can start today and join us in our 90 days journey. My children have taken up meat. I've taken off sugar in addition to meat, and will avoid gluten as much as I can. I love you, my friends. It's always fabulous to check in and look at an aspect, but the subject I intended to talk about today somehow has said, no, let's chat tomorrow. Tells us is sugar and meat. Yeah. Let's meet again tomorrow for day 55 of our 100 days. Hopefully it will not be as cold as it is today. Good morning, Amina. I love you, my friends. Let's continue having these conversations and continue probing in ourselves until we come face to face with our true self. Because that's the ultimate goal. We're loving ourselves to get in contact with the original. That original, the one that God created, the one that God says in Psalm 139, I knew you before you were born. Let's come in contact with that one. Thank you. Let's have a fabulous Winners Wednesday. I love you. Sugar and pastries for Amina. Coffee. Yo, Meza. I'm so happy. Coffee is not really my thing. But yeah, let's work with them bit by bit. 7 days off, and then come back another 7 days off. Some people feel that these big numbers, my 90 days, my 100 days, can be too big for them. 7 days is fine. 3 days is fine for a start if one is just starting. Thank you for the lovely conversation. I love you.